What's up, good people, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I am your host, Comedian 96, along with Freddie G, K Money, and Slash. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men, and welcome to Black Friday. Before we get into our topic for today, I need everybody that's on YouTube to go out and subscribe. Click on the like button. If you're on Twitter, follow us at 52 Scott Podcast, and on IG and Facebook at the 52 Scott Podcast. What's up, people, and welcome back to another edition of Black Friday. Today's topic is in reference to our show from last week, All Talk, No Action. We had a fan that asked us, what is the solution? And they kept asking me, what is the solution? And I was confused on what they were saying. But there was a part in the show that K Money asked Freddie G, what would be the solution to our youth, to leading them in the right direction, to putting them on the right path to where they can be successful in life and not gangbang or be out in the streets or just sell drugs or whatever it is. So this week, for this man that we have, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the solutions. We're going to give opinions from all four of us. So we all opinionated. But I can almost 100% guarantee that we will all agree on the solution of aiding our youth. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, I'll start with myself. One of the solutions would be, and it's because of my life, when I was younger, 10, 11, 12, I was headed definitely in the wrong direction, right? When I was 11, got caught stealing, and I got put on a year punishment. My mama used to give out jail sentences when she it wasn't no 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. No, you get a year punishment. You want to do some little shit, you get some year punishment. So I get to look out the window, watch everybody ride their bikes. Hey, man, come on outside. Boy, I got the dookie face. I think I read that. I don't know if y'all read that book, the book. It's a movie now with the monkeys. What is it with the?
We can't read.
With the monkeys, it's a movie now. Planet of the Apes. There it is. That book, if you don't watch that book, it's bigger than 2 dictionaries together. Yeah, it's a huge book. Mm-hmm. So that was I had to read Planet of the Apes. I was out of there. I had to watch people ride their bikes and stuff. Yeah. So I got put on punishment for the first time, stealing at the corn machine, the video game. Mm-hmm. Now the second time, I came in on the tail end of the actions, but I was a cross-eyed little ugly boy, so they blamed everything on me. I was really innocent. Miss K, cool cup lady, he was already stealing. I just happened to come outside, just give him a residual and get to chew some pool with the money that he was already stealing from your ass. I'm sorry, y'all had lost. I had got emotional.
Is this K still alive, bro?
I hope she is, because I wasn't stealing. It was the other dude.
And also, you said you was a cross-eyed little ugly boy.
Cross-eyed, so they're going to bring the little cross-eyed ugly boy. That's what they did.
Now you're a straight-eyed ugly man.
Yeah, there it is. I'm a straight-eyed ugly man now. Yeah. But back then, ain't got to get. I'm just saying. So she blamed me. So the second time I got put on another year punishment. But this time I was partially innocent because the thievery had already started. I just came in on the tail end.
So you saying punishment was the solution?
Nah. The solution, that's what I was getting to. After that second year punishment, my mom put me into a community center. It was called Shape Community Center.
Uh-huh. In Third Ward.
In Third Ward, yeah. It was on Live Oak and Live Oak in Alabama on the corner. And the SHAPE Community Center stands for Self-Help for African People Throughout Education. Even though it says African, it was all different races. So don't anybody listening, don't let that steer away from you. Mm-hmm. These people, they kept me busy with martial arts, football, school. They checked my homework, make sure I had no time to do bad anymore. I couldn't steal. I couldn't do anything. I was active. I was doing movies. Mm-hmm. I was active, so I had no time to do anything negative. No more stealing, no more. All the dudes because they wasn't finna do all that. They was used to stealing, but I knew I was tired of getting locked up. So my mama locked up, police locked up, both locked up. Mm-hmm. So I was tired. So at 12, 13. So around 12, 13, I started going to the community center, and that honestly kept me busy to where I didn't have time to steal. I didn't have time to sell dope or none of that. And then from there, I went straight to the military, right? Had I not went to Shape and Shape wasn't there, I'd 100% been locked up. 100%. I know I would have.
So yeah, that was a solution.
Yeah, that was one of the solutions.
I have now. There are several different solutions that we can come up with, but the main one that I want to bring up, I guess, to the forefront would be there's a lot of church programs for youth.
Yes.
I would advise you single mothers, if you have, children, to start it out there, because the first thing you want to do is instill the right thing into the mentality of the child. And I think if you put them around, the right mentality, and I'm not trying to say that church is better than anywhere else. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a positive environment that these kids can get the right idea from, so that's part of a solution. When I was a child, I was raised in church up until, I guess, the age 12, 13, and then my mom passed. But while she was here, she instilled, hey, make sure you're in some sort of program that keeps you positive, keeps you from being where you have idle time.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's one of the things that would be a solution if you take away the idle time from the child and give them something to do.
Yep.
Then that'll keep them busy, like martial arts, stuff that you was in. Those are solutions to, helping a child in the village, and maintaining the positive thing in the village, because it's danger in the village too.
Right.
Yeah, it is. Because you got other villagers that don't want to do right
care.
and
That's
want
right.
you to come with them.
That's right.
And that's what was happening to me. And not that I was following, but I just thought it was like, oh, this.
Well, we all, and everybody on this panel.
Yeah.
I don't think none of us were just the righteous way to go.
Right. Yeah.
We've all had some ups and downs and shared some experiences that were unpleasant, maybe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like going to jail for something or doing something, or even being involved in something where somebody got hurt or something that just didn't have to happen. But even after, and I mention that because even after going through what I went through before my mom passed and being in church, stuff still was happening when she was gone. And I was around stuff.
Right.
Doing stuff, going to jail and doing stuff like that. So the mentality was instilled that I knew right from wrong. So once I was old enough to recognize, I'm not getting in trouble with these niggas no more. I'm finna do, but it was already instilled in me. So yeah, part of the solution would be put your child in some sort of program that's gonna be positive and teach them positive things, and instill that in the child while they're young.
I totally agree with you, Slash. Finding something extracurricular, outside of school that'll keep them busy, and they won't have time to do wrong. You know, when I was little, that's my mom got me into football, and that's when football kept me busy pretty much during the summertime, 2-a-day practices and things of that nature. And then from there, I didn't continue playing football, but I got involved in music and started band. So just keeping them, finding a program, whether it be church, like you say, church doesn't necessarily mean that's the best, but Community 96, you mentioned the Shape Community Center. Now, that was a free program, right?
Right. It's free.
Nowadays they have the Boys and Girls Clubs, which I'm for and I'm against, because some Boys and Girls Club is almost as if there are not really a lot of supervision going on. Kids are just dropped off, or they go there and then they do what they want to do. But
and then you have to pay for that, right?
And you got to
there is a fee that I believe they do, but it goes towards, I think, funding the Boys and Girls Club and the equipment and things of that nature that they use. So it's worth the fee that they charge, because you got to look at how much daycare costs nowadays. But they don't have daycare really for teenagers.
For teenagers, yeah.
So to find a legitimate program that would definitely keep them busy and occupied, and they learn something from it, whether it be a small trade or just something that they're interested in that'll keep their attention,
right,
would definitely keep them out of trouble and off the streets doing wrong.
Yeah, and it was funny you said, not funny, but it was good that you said church slash.
Yeah.
Because next month I'm actually going for my church, Bethel's family. I'm supposed to be my first time basketball coach. I've never done basketball. I've never done it.
It's good. That's mentoring to the young adults, and that's always something that I've wanted to do. And if I could find the right church program to be over a youth organization, I would do it. And the only reason I say I would do it is because I hate to see a young child not have a chance at experiencing what life is really supposed to be.
And that's my thought process. You know, I'm like, I was blessed to get a chance.
Right.
It's my turn to give it back to them.
You got to give back.
I got to give it back to them, because if I don't, I can't get my blessings. So
that's right.
That's my thought. So I'm trying to help, because I want to do football, but I don't know as much as Freddie G, as much as K Money. I know a little something about something, but once you hit me, I'm going to be mad. Kid or not, I'm going to be ready to fight. So I stick with basketball, a la Eric Roberts, yo compadre. When he made, he made me quit football.
You talking about Eric? Yeah.
He made me quit in practice. It wasn't even a play.
He made you quit?
Yeah, hit me in my head. I started hitting bells I never heard, seeing colors I ain't never seen. He's like, hey man, where you going? That's it. That practice ain't over. For me it is. I left.
So check this out, man. So all three of y'all mentioned extracurricular activities outside of school.
Yes.
To put the kids in. And I'm in 100% agreement that is something that's needed in regards to the youth. And so in addition to that, so y'all may recall during that show, I said when K Money asked me, so what's the solution?
Yes.
And so I said that I think that the village itself is fucked up. And then I also said that we need to step up in regards to the youth, because and I gave an example, and I said to K Money, I said, hey man, if you said, hey guys, if K Money said, hey guys, let's get together and we're going to start getting involved with the youth. And I said that I believe that all four of us would get together, but the problem would be, can we get four more guys? Right. And can they get four more guys? Right. And can they get four more guys? So when you look at the youth today, they're our kids. The youth today are our kids. Yeah. They're the ones we're complaining about. So if you had to put a percentage on it, in my opinion, I think that we are 50% responsible
Oh, yeah.
of why these kids are like they are today, and meaning the village itself. Because these kids, this generation, they're our kids. And so we're 50% part of the problem. Now, of course, when I say 50% of part of the problem, that means that us as parents instilling the proper and giving the proper guidance to the children, so that when they're old enough to make decisions. Now let me keep it a buck. They're gonna make bonehead choices and decisions. They're gonna do it. It's just all a part of growing up and temptations. Right. But if they have the foundation, it'll minimize the amount of bonehead choices and decisions that they make.
Right.
It'll minimize it if they have the foundation. That's why I say we're 50% part of it, and they are 50% part of it, because they have to be able to listen.
Exactly.
Now,
but you got to ask yourself. You got to ask yourself. To all of the listeners out there, ask yourself, if you have children, are you doing your part to instill in your child what's right? Because your child is associating with my child.
Yeah.
And now our children are associating with each other. And if my child don't have the proper guidance and your child don't have the proper guidance, them two get together, it's gonna be some trouble.
There's
gonna be some trouble. If they ain't got if you ain't put them in no activities, if you ain't trying to do nothing with them, it's gonna be some trouble.
Right.
these are our kids.
Let me ask you a question, Freddie G. With us being 50% of the problem, let's say you have parents out there, and I'm not going to say a single female, I'm just going to say a single parent, period, who may be intimidated by their child because of the lack of respect being given. How do you address or feel that should be handled or solved?
Well, if a female parent is intimidated by their child.
No, a parent in general, male or female.
Okay, if a parent out there is intimidated by their child, here's what that tells me. That tells me that child didn't get the proper guidance when they were younger, because now they're bigger. And now the parent are afraid of, because I find it hard to believe that there's a parent that's afraid of a little toddler, a little elementary school kid. You only start to get afraid of those kids when they get up in high school and they're getting bigger than you. But if you instill the proper guidance in them,
you shouldn't have that problem.
then you shouldn't be afraid. Now they're going to buck, because it's all a part of growing up. Every kid buck in some way, shape, or form.
Start smelling
in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not to the extent as the next kid, but in some way, shape, or form. A bucking can be clean your room. And then have it clean today. And don't leave this house till it's clean. Where you go on about your business, you have to go run an errand or something, you come back, they gone. The room ain't clean.
Yeah.
Now they done bucked you. They may not have physically bucked you to where they want to put their hands on you.
Testing me.
But they bucked you and not following your authority. Now check this out. In the same breath, they may respect you enough not to buck you in that way where they want to put their hands on you. And if you get that part of the respect, okay, you've reached them in some way in that area.
Right.
You've reached them. It's just some other things that you got to kind of try to instill in them to clean up to where they know that you mean business when you say do X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, if you got a parent, I'm sorry, K-Money, getting a little long-winded again, but if you got a parent, the answer to your question, if you got a parent that's afraid of their child, that means that child is too big now.
Yeah.
And that means that they probably didn't get on them like they should have got on them when they were younger, at an earlier age. Because, man, I'll say this and I'll be done. I'm sorry again to get along with it. I'm going to say this and I'll be done. My son is an avid listener of this show. And I told him this. It wasn't even warranted, but I would always tell them this when I'm giving advice. And this doesn't even have to come during a time of discipline. I always tell them, I say, hey, man, at some point, you're going to be able to whoop me. Because the older you get, the stronger you get. And the older I get, the weaker I get. And all I'm going to have is what I instilled in you, the morals and values that I've instilled in you. And I would hope the day that you know that you can whoop me and that I've made you mad for whatever reason, I've upset you for whatever reason, I would hope you would have enough respect for me not to beat me up.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to do what it takes to get you up off me. But I would hope that you would have enough morals and values within yourself that I instilled in you.
Right.
Not to put your hands on me, even when you know I can take him now.
K-Buddy, that's just so funny you say installing the morals and values. I hate to put my nephew out here like this. My nephew's almost 40. And I'll never forget, he was 33. It was at his mom's house, my sister. And I say, hey, because she always had this look. She ain't got to say nothing to him. He'll just immediately start crying. But that was when he was little, 11, 12, 13,
Yeah, that
14.
don't work once you get older.
Damn lie. I walked in, I said, you think that lick still work? He's 33 going on 34. I promise you I'll never forget this. It was in the kitchen. Yeah. She walked in, gave him that look. He started primping up. Y'all can't see me, but he was primping up. About to call. He was like, oh, no, we just playing. So you're right. When you install that in that fear, and that's what I call it's like a little slight fear, but it's not a fear of you gonna kill me. It's just a fear of respect to me.
That's
I
exactly
call it a healthy amount of fear.
Yeah,
it's a fear of respect.
Yeah,
it's a respect fear, not really.
You have to put that there
because he's 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", and his mama's 5'1".
And he know.
5'2".
He know he can take it.
You have to, but
he was about to go. Did you understand? These fears was finna come. We had to stop him.
You have to instill this type of stuff, and because we're not gonna save them all. But the ones that we can save, we have to do it as quick as possible, as soon as possible.
Yep.
Soon as they hit the ground running, and they able to pick up and touch stuff, is when you need to start.
I said the same thing. People thought I was crazy because I was whooping my baby when she wasn't walking.
Now check this out. Now, I know that this is a pickup from our previous show last Friday.
Last Friday.
Comedian 96.
Yeah.
And this is the listener that wanted to know the solution.
Correct.
Now, to that listener, we've given our solution. But here's something that there's no answer for. And each individual has to search within themselves. So part of that show last week, I had mentioned that I said to some of the guys that I was talking to that, hey, if you walked outside right now and you saw two youngsters using profanity and they like 16, 17 years old, and they just cursing up a storm, and there's two old ladies right there. Now, keep in mind, these youngsters are our children.
Yeah.
These are not literally our children, but they're our children because this is the generation our children are in. And I asked them, I say, would you have enough balls to go to those children and say, hey, watch your tone in front of these ladies? Now, before they could answer the question, I answered it first what I would do. And I said, I probably wouldn't say nothing. And when I said that, they piggybacked and said that they probably wouldn't say nothing. And we all gave the same reason as to why we wouldn't say nothing. And that is because of the youth today. They might pull out a gun. They might do the shut your old ass up. Then I gave an example. I told a story about something that happened 10 years ago when I stopped a fight from some middle school kids. So at the end of the day, man, because these are our kids.
Yeah, we responsible.
We got to stop being afraid.
Yeah.
I ain't say be stupid.
Yeah.
But we got to stop being afraid to actually get these kids and teach these kids what's right, even when they're not our children.
It's just so fickle, and I agree with you, but I think easier said than done. And the reason why I say that is because we don't know which ones we're gonna run into that hasn't had any kind of respect instilled into them. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And see, the problem is I don't have time to discipline no child right now. And the reason why I say that is because I have two grown daughters that won't cuss in front of me, and I don't cuss in front of them.
I do this.
You know what I mean? That's just a way of respect,
right?
How we treat each other with respect. Yeah. They grown. I can't stop them from saying cuss words.
But you don't know if them other kids raised the same way.
You don't.
I agree with that. You know, only thing I would say to that, first of all, you and I are in agreement, with that. Only thing I would say to that is, when we were coming up, and we talked about a guy with one hitter quitters,
they would say it.
When we were coming up, me / K Money, Comedian 96. When we were coming up, older people that didn't know us, if we were cutting up, now we were taught right in our homes.
Yeah.
I was raised by my grandparents, and if I slip up and did something around these people, hey, young man, you need to watch what you're doing. Or, hey, young man, you need to go and do this. And especially at Astroworld, when I was cutting up, when Astroworld's amusement park here in Houston, was an amusement park, these people that didn't know me would actually put me in check. I was hanging with people that was capable, that wasn't raised right, in my opinion. And some of us, we were raised right, and we still was cutting up. Right. But they had enough balls
to say something. And I it's just, then the world was so different in those days. And the only reason I say that, and don't get me wrong, I'm not afraid to say something to a child or a teenager, I'm afraid of what they're going to do afterwards. And see, they got guns now. We didn't back then. So those adults to us back then didn't worry about stuff because it was a different world. Yeah. You know, none of us really had guns. And if we did, it was because we was doing some dirt.
They shooting people for cutting off in traffic. But just imagine if you say something.
Let me tell you something. These kids got a bigger gun than you.
Yeah. They got guns the size of little Bow Wow for real.
So that's why, and me being a smart man, you know what? I bet not say nothing. Because they don't care nothing about me. Yeah. Exactly. They will leave me in the street where I said that nonsense to them.
So riddled with holes.
So with that being said, we've offered a solution. The thing is it sounds to me like the youth today are too far gone to get help.
Some of them are.
Get help.
Not all of them.
At a certain age, I feel that they are too far gone.
So here's the thing. So here's the thing. For the ones that are not too far gone, where are they getting the help from?
We got to identify them first.
Well, those are the ones that they not in the street. You're not running into them in these situations that you mentioned where the kids out there fighting. The ones that got the morals and they not out there in the street.
But you could run into a child. You could. One child that's the kids that's fighting. One child could be one that you know we could reach where the other one is too far gone.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So Freddie G, you mentioned earlier, you know, not to be scared, but not to be stupid. But how can you define that?
That's where I'm going with it. So when I said we offered a solution, we all just came up with solutions. Mm-hmm. Here's a solution to get it done. But in the same breath, we're all saying, including me, we're all saying that, it's a little hard if I seem to do, would I go say something to this teenager? Uh-huh. So after hearing the solution, but in the same breath, I'm saying that it'll be difficult for me to go and reprimand, for lack of better words, this kid like I was reprimanded by a total stranger.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's a little difficult for me to do that now. Mm-hmm. So it sounds to me that these kids are too far gone now because they can't get nobody to go and stand in the gap to go and correct them like we were corrected.
I think it takes a certain type of approach because some teenagers will listen to an older adult.
Exactly. Some of
based
them
on how you approach.
You know, I feel situation. I feel that. Now, with that, I feel that 100%. Now, with that being said, I think that we're all capable of using the right choice of words to go and approach a teenager that's doing something they ain't got no business doing. I think we're all smart enough to use the right choice of words.
It depends on what he's doing wrong at the time.
Just at the time.
If he breaking in a car, go on, take that car, man, and go hit on. Okay, because you got a gun.
Yeah. So if this person was the profanity situation I gave.
If they cussing, that's different.
Or if they're standing outside of the store and there's an elderly lady or man with a cane, and they're taking their time for getting out of the way. They don't seem like they're moving.
Yeah.
And you know you're coming up and you want to hold the door for this lady. Mm-hmm. Hey man, let me let this lady in. Blah 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 blah.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah. We know the right choice of words. I think that all four of us are smart enough to know what the right choice. Yeah. Use the right choice of words. The thing is, will we do it?
That I would.
And that's not just for us.
Right. It's all the people.
Everybody. Will you stand in the gap?
At that point, just like these kids need to have that instilled, we need it to be instilled in us that's what we need to do. And I think until we reach that point, because there is nothing out here training us to say, hey, make sure these teenagers stay on the right path. Mm-hmm. There is nothing out there. I think it has to be instilled within all the people our ages at the same time to say, hey, we need to get these kids in line. You know, I just don't think that there's a program that pays for that.
So that's a whole nother dilemma then, because now it's well, we need to stand together.
Yeah, we do.
Because I mentioned to you, K-Money, I say I think that you can get us, the three of us, to join you. That's 4. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, can we get 4 more?
Right.
And can we get 4 more?
Right.
And can we get 4 more? That was a part of the solution that I gave in the previous show. And so if that's the case, Slash,
how do we get 4 more?
The problem is us being a united front as black men,
right?
Being a united front. Now here's the thing. Now here go what's so cold blooded about it all. I can tell you there is a nonprofit organization, and we know the people, and they have a nonprofit organization that's called My Voice Count. They actually supported us at one of our comedy shows. Now, here's the thing. They're doing their part. Now, can you get 4 more? 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 The problem is that they can't get no help.
Yeah. Nobody wants to take on
and
that
ain't
job.
Ain't nobody trying to do.
You know why? That's a major job.
It is.
That you have to do for free. That's a hell of a job to do for free. Man.
And it's going to take up some time.
Yeah.
Well, when I say my voice, I'm not so much as talking about giving back to the community and doing that. I'm just saying I'm using it as an example to be a part of the village in regards to these kids. It doesn't take much to be a part of the village. If I walk out the door right now and I see that kid with the profanity going to profanity, and I say, hey, young man, you know, if you don't, if there's nobody around y'all to at least have enough respect for me as an elder, you guys as elders, to respect me enough.
They just won't
to let me.
And in that scenario, young man, and you nice and calm, and he say, "Fuck you, OG." Is that where you just have to leave it alone because you have to be smart about the situation? You don't even know if this young man has a gun or not at the time, but
he got something.
Just his response.
Well, here's the thing. That's where the energy shifts, and here's what I mean by that. See, when I approached him, I was at his mercy. Now that he's made that remark, he's at my mercy. Here's what I mean by that. He don't know if I got a gun either.
But they don't think that way. They don't care.
Well, okay, here's the thing. When I approached them, if they're not thinking that way, I got the advantage. If we're speaking violence. I got the advantage if we're speaking violence because you're underestimating me. I don't underestimate you.
But you should, because they're the ones that'll pull it out quick, fast, and hurry.
I don't underestimate you. Meaning, I expect you to have.
Okay, I got you.
I don't underestimate you, but you're underestimating me. So now you're at my mercy because you don't think your guards are down.
Mm-hmm. And because I'm older.
Because
I agree with him because he's older.
But I'm not speaking of violent. We're not speaking of violent, but I get what you're saying.
But it can turn violent in a quick New York second.
That's why I said the energy shifts. When I approached him, I was at his mercy.
And I think that's where the younger generation have the major issue because the like you say, the energy shifts so fast with them. You know what I mean? 0 to 100 real quick. Most of them. Yeah. This has been instilled into that mind frame. So we already know that this person is finna go nuts when you say something to them. That's instilled in them. 0 to 100, nigga, real quick.
Yep.
This is their life. This is they believe. This is how they feel life's supposed to go. So you're going to have to be ready before you say something to them and knowing that this can get to...
They can get like that.
Yeah, you know.
So I'm in agreement with you when you say that because of the time. And these are our kids we're talking about, right? But I can't help but keep harking back to... Man, when we were coming up,
yeah, they did.
We had dudes like that, and these and when we had dudes that are like that, and it's us. It was our parents.
It was grandparents,
and so they Uncles, were approaching us and saying, "Hey, watch what you're doing." And so when they approached us, we could have easily been the one.
But look, let me say this too. The ones that approached us, and I want y'all to just think back to y'all younger days, 13, 14, 15. The ones that approached us were the elders the grandparents.
Yeah.
It wasn't the uncles and aunts.
We don't have no grand nothing.
It wasn't the uncles and aunts saying nothing. You know why I know that? And I don't like to tell my business in the street about that, but that age group of people, we were selling crack to them. Just on the cool.
On the cool.
So it wasn't the aunts and uncles at the 40-year mark. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It was the 50s and 60-year marks up.
Right.
That was not
know what?
afraid to say nothing to it.
You know what? You're absolutely right. Now check this out. You said 50 and 60-year mark.
That's where we at.
We're in that mark.
Yeah, we in there.
We don't have no
Crack
grandmas.
epidemic is what tainted.
We're grandmas,
Damaged the villages.
grandpas.
Yeah. We don't have
the
any.
villages.
It corrupted the village. We corrupted
We are
the
the
village.
grandpa. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We are the grandpa and grandpas, right? Grandma and grandpa.
And now we got.
But ain't none of us in the rocking chair. We in the clubs. We still doing our thing. As if we're one of the kids still. Most, not all, because there's still maybe quite few. We have to wait on Medea to play grandma. We have to wait on her.
There are no more of those.
There ain't no more
So again, it sounds like the youth is lost.
Yeah,
Because there's no helping them.
Because we fucked the village up, and now we got to goddamn clean the village, man.
So it doesn't sound like we can clean it.
We fucked it up.
It sounds like it's a wrap.
Yeah.
We fucked up the village.
So now, with that being said, it looks like we didn't try to come up with a solution,
We did.
and we all did.
We got good solutions.
We got solutions.
We got a great solution.
If they get their kids when
We
they
gotta
start
implement 'em.
running.
We got to implement them, and then on top of that, we got to do what Freddie G said on your last show. The four of us got to go get FOMO and go get FOMO.
And keep adding people.
And we need to keep adding people,
Yeah.
and we need to visit these organizations, these free organizations, the Boys and Girls Club, the football, the cheerleaders, the track and field, the community centers.
Right.
And with that, with my closing, I do want to, my black fact for today is Deloitte Parker. He is the owner and organizer of the Shape Community Center, which is here in Houston, 3815 Live Oak. Man, when I say they have everything you need to keep you out of trouble, to keep your kids on track. They have young adults for self-help. It's called YASH, which is a summer job. It's for 16 and up. You get paid. The homework, karate, like I told you before. They have all kinds of stuff to keep your kids out of trouble. So right now, let's start with us four and work our way up. And for that, that's our Black Friday. Peace. This concludes our show for Black Friday. And if you haven't done so already, follow us on Twitter at 52 Scott Podcast. Also on Facebook and Instagram at the 52 Scott Podcast. Also, like and subscribe if you haven't done so on YouTube.